response did not come from the government. The response did not come from your social service organizations. The response came from the church. You had over 28,000 multifamily units that were destroyed in the storm. You had over 48,000 homes that were considered to be owned by low-income, moderate-income persons who were destroyed. These were folks who primarily were not covered by insurance in the storm. And then what you had is a massive relocation of people who were not homeowners and who did not have or did not live in structures that they felt safe within. So you had an exodus from the coast of almost half of the population, which created an impact in these communities which they relocated to.
I'm looking forward towards starting all over again.
And it makes you sometimes really want to suicidal, you know, because everything's gone, just everything.
Work started today in the East Bay on an unusual relief effort.
100 volunteers showed up in Danville to begin building houses.
We have a map here for some
Bay Area
viewers.
churches are helping victims of Hurricane Katrina.
Love that passion.
I'm Dick Sanner, Mission Pastor of Community Presbyterian Church of Danville, California. Operation Katrina came about because of a passion to meet the housing needs of Hurricane Katrina evacuees. It became obvious that God called us to reach out to bring East Bay churches together in a joint effort to build houses in Mississippi. The plan was to build affordable quality houses for Hurricane Katrina evacuees using donated funds, in-kind gifts, and volunteer labor. In the end, 17 churches representing more than half a dozen different denominations came together to form what became the first umbrella of churches. An important part of the project idea is a pay-it-forward concept which works in the following way. When a house is completed and sold, the donated money used to build each house is paid forward towards the building of another house, and then another, and so on. An alliance was quickly formed with Voice of Calvary Ministries, a non-denominational Christian ministry out of Jackson, Mississippi, which has established relationships with government agencies as well as local officials. Each church in the umbrella committed to build or help frame the walls of at least one house on their church parking lots. Volunteer labor came not only from our congregations, but from non-members who heard about our project from TV, newspapers, neighbors, and friends. After the frames were constructed, they were loaded into containers and shipped to Macomb, Mississippi. This is located about 75 miles north of Gulfport. Site preparations had been underway and overseen by Voice of Calvary Ministries, and then in early April, more than 300 volunteers from California churches began arriving in Macomb. With the help of volunteer laborers from Pike County's Council of Ecumenical Churches, frames were unloaded. While over the course of the next few weeks, as walls went up for 15 of 16 houses, walls began to come down between people and their cultures. New relationships were built between churches, between people from many different walks of life, and between communities. Lives were changed and lifelong friendships were established, and most importantly, 15 affordable quality houses were begun for Katrina survivors. How can you be involved? Specifically, here are a few ideas. Acquire the Umbrella of Churches Handbook. This document has been put together to clearly define every moving part of Operation Katrina. Secondly, assist with fundraising. Thirdly, help with in-kind donations such as building materials. Fourthly, volunteer labor. That would be framing a house on your own church parking lot or sending teams of adults and high school age youth to go to Mississippi. Another idea is to recruit additional churches. And then finally, for further information, contact us via the web as you see displayed.
have a group of people now who are trying to model what they do after the umbrella of churches. And you're going to see this project getting bigger and bigger and bigger because the church now understands the power of their God over this world. We are one family in Christ.